Hello, thank you for joining me here today. Um, well, what day isn't special, right? We're always here celebrating life and our conquerors and um, the outcomes of our choices, right? And this is blissful. You can see in your life the practices that and what they will lead you into. That is interesting. Today, I think I could have called this live in many words, many different concepts and titles to bring by the same thing. And the thing is, um, the law of attraction. Now, the law of attraction, as you guys always know, I make a small comparison between something that can explain what's going on with the thing which I'm discussing. And the thing is, the law of attraction is it's like a combined, it's a combination, or actually it's the result of the fact that your outer world is like your inner world, right? So if you change your interior way of thinking and processing and visualizing and imagining and yeah, processing, you will make that result come to the outer world. So what you have going on your inside will be reflected on your outer world. The thing with that is, unless you have been taught about this since childhood and you're very good at this for some reason, because maybe you have been practicing it since the movie started or even before that, and if you've got this many years of practice, I'm pretty sure that you're very good at it by now. But if you're on the start of it, it can be kind of tricky. The tricky part of it is related to the fact that, first of all, we don't really train our minds to, we don't educate our minds. We don't train our minds to transcore the paths we want them to. And walking inside of a thought can be tricky. But even before that, another challenging situation is that some people don't really get to connect thoughts and emotions. I have started like that. My mind is very free and around everywhere because I like astral projections. So I take my attention to many subjects and I like to process them kind of all together. And because of that, I'm very airy, okay? Airy as in the sense of tarot and astrology, in which air represents the mind and the thoughts. So I'm very much airy. I stay a lot in astral realms, capturing ideas and intuitions and creativity. But because of that, because I'm very airy, it took for me a really long time to process through feeling. So, yes, there is another way of processing information. One of them is through thinking, and another is through feeling. Okay, to be honest, there are many, many, many ways to reach wisdom, and some can reach wisdom by spinning, some can reach wisdom by dancing, some can reach wisdom by thinking, some can reach wisdom by talking, by writing, some can reach by writing a journal for itself, some can reach wisdom while cooking, because this is all related to a point of your the insights from wisdom. It's super related to in which moment, in which situation you get relaxed. because wisdom is this very powerful energy bringing like a way too much information for our capacity of processing so much knowledge. So because of that, wisdom and the process of receiving it is more related to be relaxed, because you need to be open and not highly vibrating on your thoughts in order for a knowledge to come into you. Because when you tap into spirituality, knowledge doesn't necessarily have to come through reading. Knowledge can come through these many different paths and more that I described to you. To some people, it comes through sports. And why is that important? Because relaxed moments can help us processing our wisdom and having insights. And this is good because sometimes insights, they're so informative and the knowledge comes so big knowledge in such a small amount of time that you by your normal conscience won't have the capacity to receive it. So you relax. In relaxing, your agitation will stop, and in your agitation stopping, you are more open to receive what's coming to your direction. Now, another point I would like to say about this is very important, but I'm not sure if I can explain this the best way possible, but I will give it a try. So, you have to be you, because law of attraction works for everything, and each one of us, each person has its own energetic address. You are an energetic address. You are an energetic digital. Only you have your energy. No one else can copy that energy. Only you have that energy. And why is this so important? Because it's like this: if you're processing life through someone else's wishes and desires, like for example, if you want to please your mom, if you want to please your dad, if you want to please whoever it is that you want to please, your spouse or a friend, when you want to please, I mean, as in please, not as in feeling pleasant or pleasure, as in please, as in maybe I will do something that I'm not really fond of to please the other, okay? Because when you do this, when you get out of yourself, of your natural way of being and feeling to please someone else, you just stopped sending your natural vibration. And the thing about that is, if you're emulating or if you're in rapport with someone else's vibration, you will attract the same of the energy from that person. It's not by coincidence that Bashar, Abraham Hicks, and so many others, Gasparetto in Brazil, they always say, go for what you're fond of, go for your passion, go for what makes you feel pleasure. This is so much to discuss, okay? Now, let me tell you this: happiness. If happiness is for real, it cannot be a thought, because a thought you can create, you can imagine. And if you can imagine, it can happen in the illusion realms. So, if happiness cannot be thought, how one can reach happiness? It's by following one's heart. Because from the inspiration of your heart's desires, wishes, and passions, you will be feeling you're pleasant. And in doing something you love and feeling pleasant, and doing something you love and feeling pleasant, and in doing something you love again and feeling pleasant again, you will reach that state in you that is always blissful, because you are always respecting yourself. And this, let's talk about ourselves as a magnetism, okay? So you are a magnet. You are this bump of energy just happening almost like the sun. You're a bomb of energy, just emanating energy throughout the world. Wherever you go and wherever you think about it, you just emanate energy, your personalized, unique energy. Okay, so um, when you're emanating your energy, the world and spirituality and all the energies that combined, we realize, hey, that energy that we need is turned on. Hey, let's send that energy, everything to make her shine brighter. Her, because shine in some words in Portuguese, they are female and some words are in masculine. Okay, so sometimes I use a verb with a she or a he, or set or a noun with a he or a she, because I'm processing through Portuguese. Okay, I'm sorry. But okay, so when your magnetism is out there and you are being all you, and you are being all your pleasure, and you are being all your you, and you are shining brighter, and you are growing your vibration into the world and spreading yourself out there big time, everything that is a match to your energy and fits with it will be woke up for the fact that your energy got woke up. Okay, but if you are trying to please someone else, you're not being your energy. You are actually denying your energy. And why is that? Because, as I said, if you're pleasing someone else by leaving behind something that you didn't really want to do, you just put yourself in the other way around. You went to the magnetism of something that is kind of negative to you. Now, I know that there may be sometimes that we please someone else and we don't feel that unpleasant, but every time you're not being you, your magnetism is matching with other people's magnetism stuff. So it could lead you to live a life that is actually related to someone else entirely different. And the fact that you are emanating someone else's energy, you won't wake up into spirituality on in or in the world. You won't wake up the match to your magnetized energy. Okay, so okay, first we have that if we change our inner world, we will change our outer world. So with that, also, if you get to combine understanding your feeling through the process of thinking and understanding your thinking through the process of feeling, you are starting to combine other parts of yourself that previously were apart, and now they are summing a force together. Because let me tell you this, the beating of your heart produces an energy of beating for the simple fact that it's beating. It's like movement, it's about energy. And the same thing happens to your mind, because your mind is processing thoughts, it's vibrating, and this energy vibration goes into the world. Even though you cannot see it, it just vibrates. Even though it's very subtle, in astral realm, it's actually very powerful. Okay, so, and you also got that magnetism thing that you, if you are aligned with yourself, your thoughts, your interior, and your emotions, and your inner vibration, you wake up the matching situations in the world that completes this energy. Because if you are alive, you okay, skepticism apart. Okay, if you are alive, and if you are here, and if you are already emanating an energy of life and living and experiencing life, you, not like useful is not the word I'm looking for. You were born, and because you were born, life will happen to you. Okay, life will happen to you just because you were born. You are very important just because you were born. Oh, but Danny, I don't work, I don't help, I'm a little lazy. Honey, just because you are alive, you are super important. Okay, it doesn't matter in which state your mind or body or your heart are right now. If you are alive, you are super important, because you are emanating an energy that will live into this world a message, the message of your energy, of your life path. Even though you may not tell your story to the world, it is there energetically happening without you acknowledging, wanting it or not, or accepting it or not. Okay, you are happening. Wherever you go, you are leaving an energy behind, and wherever you're trying to reach, you're already sending your energy to it. So, with that said, and because I have already passed part of the half of the time of today's live, so with all that I just said, what are we looking for in here? First, we need you to be able to combine a thought with an emotion. What is the most common way of doing it that is out there in the world every day for everyone, very easily to find, that people are maybe not even thinking about it, but it's super out there, that can give you an idea of what I'm talking about? For example, I like girls' movies, okay? Is there an expression for that in English? Chicks' movies. I don't know. But let's suppose you watch a movie and you are watching a horror movie and you get all scared and you are like, oh my god, oh my god, and then you, oh my god, I want to turn on the lights because I'm a little scared. I by myself cannot watch a horror movie alone. I don't do that because I'm super impressionate. So I'm very influenced by all of that. I can easily dream of stuff. So when and very rarely it happens that I get curious for a horror movie these days. I usually look for someone else's company because I get all yelling and scared and all of that. Okay, so what does that tell you? If you watch a movie on a theme, and if you have, because some people don't have, but I know that some people have because I have, if you have that capacity of being so dive into the story of the movie that you can almost feel the same things that are happening in the story of the movie, you are already processing a thought along with an emotion. That is the most common way of doing it. Okay, but now let's suppose you're a little sad and maybe you want to change your emotional vibration, and then you put some romantic movie, and then you go all inside the story and you watch all that movie, and then you, oh, it's so cute and they're such a cute couple, and you get all of that feeling. And it was very intense with me, this experience a few years ago, because every time I watched a romantic movie, I was more romantic with my partner, and it was very interesting because it was impressive to me the power that the influence of a movie could have in my personal life. But this is kind of an example that I'm trying to give to you, that if you influence your mind with some ideas that brings you to some specific feelings, you will be combining emotions with thoughts. Okay, emotions with thoughts and body energy, and this is when we reach the real law of attraction, because we have to combine these three things: a thought that causes an emotion, that causes um, a vibration, and this is the power of attraction. So, and the thing is, sometimes you can be super good at walking throughout your mind. I have been actually 14 years of experience in spirituality, not necessarily 14 years in meditating. No, I don't meditate that much, even though I know this is a very powerful tool. Um, I know that there is a point in meditation in which you start learning how to walk through your personal mind. And the thing about that is, if you know how to process your thoughts, you can build the story you want. Just very recently, I learned how to do that. And the thing is, sometimes you will try to make yourself purposely think of something because you want that thing, but for some reason, when you, for example, we want to think about money because you're trying to reach, get prosperity, you are trying to reach abundance, and then you keep thinking, oh, what experience could I live that would represent for me a lot of prosperity and abundance? But then when you're almost there in your thoughts, in your imaginary world, for some reason you don't get to pass through in a specific stage, and there is a specific stage in which your mind stops you. So let me tell you about this. If it happens to you, if when you're trying to visualize your dreams, if when you're trying to construct the thought of the path you are looking for, and if you're being blocked to imagine that, it is because you have beliefs inside of you that are stopping you from being able to process that thought. I'm not the most expert person to tell someone how to get rid of a not so good belief system, because I know that a belief system is there to kind of protect you. If you have a belief system, is because for some reason you think that is good for you, and sometimes we don't know that this is actually happening because we don't know we're trying to please our parents. So sometimes maybe you're not allowing yourself to be rich because you are trying to not suppress or overcome someone else's expectation over you, because you don't want to make that person feel like less valuable because you grew, and this could be stopping you from growing. So if you've got something like that going on, and when you try to imagine the things that you want, you will not be able to do that, because a belief system inside of you is protecting, is feeling like to maintain you where you are is protective for you. So first you need to ask yourself and ask your spirit, because your spirit obeys you. You can ask your spirit to change that for you. So you can tell him, hey, my inner spirit, my higher self, if I have any belief system that is stopping me from reaching prosperity and abundance, please, I need you to clear this for me. And as in clear this for me, I mean that besides cleaning it, I want to know about it, because only knowing about it and bringing it to my conscience is that I will be able to understand, process, and overcome this. Okay, so when you get the, I always say this, right? So when you ask something to your spirit, it will give you new ideas, and believe me, those ideas are yours, but they are also your higher self influence, so it's all you. Okay, and that is important because maybe you will not even realize that you are having new ideas, but this is the process, this is the healing process starting to happen to you, because you asked your spirit, it will cause all the situations necessary to bring that healing to you. But trying to get a little bit into the practice, so what it would be like, be careful to not remember to be you. And why do I say that? I will give you an example. My guiders, my I love you guys as always. My spiritual guides, they always tell me, Danny, don't go imagine someone else's prosperity. What is prosperity to you? So don't just, maybe let me give you an example. So maybe you have a person that was raised with an ambience of luxurious environment because the parents liked that kind of ambience, that kind of environment, and they caused to be influencing you throughout your whole childhood to like luxury. But you are actually that very natural person that just like surfing and walking sandals, and you just like wearing bermudas, and you just want to be all relaxed and good vibes and connected to nature, and you have that kind of rich um, vibration on you, that you like to be connected with higher forces that are more simple and like mostly about to have fun and live simply. You're not looking for luxuriousness, but your family was there in your mind for many years. Hey, you like luxuriousness, you like luxury, you like everything that is the most expensive and qualified, and they were there in your mind. So when you grow up and you try to imagine prosperity, you could get confused, because in this case that I just mentioned as an example, prosperity for this person wouldn't be luxury. Prosperity for this person would be a simple life connected to nature. And this is very important because prosperity and abundance, they are not a financial matter. The financial abundance is the poorest of all abundances, is the poorest, as in the sense of the most poor. Financial prosperity is the most poor type of prosperity. And why is that? Because you have a lot of rich people very unhappy. I'm not wrong. I'm sorry if I offend anyone. It's not my intention, okay? So this could happen that you have this wish for money, but you were actually influenced. That didn't come from your inner nature. So when you try to imagine prosperity in that direction, you won't get to do that, because that's not the prosperity for your heart. And prosperity, the real prosperity, the rich prosperity, are related to the big things in life that you cannot even touch. You can only experience, like happiness, love, friendship, comprehensiveness, tenderness, right? Sensitivity. Uh, Sensitivity to the point that you can look into a painting and almost feel like crying or feel goosebumps when you're living life to the fullest of the experiences, when you're really there, when you're really in the present, and when you're really, oh my god, this is almost breathtaking for me. Okay, now in that place is where you will be talking about your inner abundance. Oh, but Danny, I like money. Oh yes, everybody does, okay? Because money is a path opener, right? And it leads you to freedom. So it is nice. But if you are using that for freedom, if you are using that with freedom, but if you are connected to money and if you are being arrested to a life experience because of money, oh, honey, I'm sorry. You could have money, but that's not life prosperous, a prosperous life. What what kind of life could be considered to be prosperous if you need to live only for the final ending objective of reaching money? What is the value of life? Can you experience money? No, the experience are of other things. You use money for the experience. So money is the money is the midway, not the end of the objective. It's like to use for the journey, not the destination. And this is very important because you need to figure out with yourself what is your prosperity. So, and this is very interesting. I will give you an example of my inner prosperity. I think I'm gonna pass the time, okay? So I was trying to find my prosperity, but then I like to be a very weird person. I'm glad for that. I'm a very different person. I cultivate this to be like it. I like it like this. Super value my unique personality and my unique energy. And some people get really annoyed by this, but some people totally get it and they love me as I am. Thanks God that I have friends. But the thing is, sometimes I try to figure my prosperity. And I go there and I make all the travels and I try to think of myself sleeping in the most luxurious hotels that there are around the world and living out the richest situations there that are spread out there. But then something in me tells me I'm not this. What would be my real prosperity? So what I figured out is that my prosperity is a lot more related to a camper van or a motor home and being able to know as many geographic places as possible throughout the whole world. But pay attention to this: prosperity doesn't necessarily come through our means. It is a mistaken belief system you to believe that your prosperity will only come through your work, because you're not remembering that we can reach other people's values too. And what do I mean by that? There is this story that I was trying to open one of my friends' faith, and I was telling him, "Hey, don't be so caught up in only one way. There are many ways, okay? There could be an experience for someone like, oh, I really wanted a car, but I don't know how to get a car because I don't have any money." And out of nowhere, that person wishing for that car receives a call saying like this: "Hey friend, I really need to ask you a delicate favor, and you can totally say no to this because I know it's a complicated type of request, but still I feel like you could be someone I could trust for this, so please feel free to tell me what you have to say from your heart, okay?" And okay, what's the thing? "Okay, I really need to ask you something. It's a favor. I will be out of the country for the next 6 to 9 months for a job experience abroad. And I didn't want to sell my car, and I don't want my car to be stopped, because if my car gets stopped, it will stop functioning in a amount of short months. So could you be so friendly with me that you could be with my car for this next 6 to 9 months?" And that's prosperity too, because that person was wishing a car, and she didn't have to work or use her money to get that car. And honey, believe me, those experiences are out there in the world all of the time, and I've seen it with my eyes. And it is so funny, because I was telling precisely that to that friend of mine, to try to open his faith that there are different situations that can lead us to a prosperity that we're looking for, if we really open our horizons to receive in many ways as possible. Don't think that you can only receive things through your work, or otherwise life will make you work a lot to get what you want. You can accept that they can come easily from a friend or from any other means. You could be like in the path of a Gisele Bündchen, that was just walking through a shopping, and then a strike lightning of luck reached her and brought her to her whole experience. By the way, Giselle, if you're hearing this, I love you. I'm super proud that you're a Brazilian. You're the best Brazilian. And why is that important? Um, when I told my friend this, it was super funny, because we were in another city far away from where I live right now, and he was looking for a job. And he was from hospitality, so we were going through hotels, and I was making him company because the experience would be nicer like this. And he was looking for these many jobs, and then we spotted a specific place, very beautiful place in Florianopolis, a big white house of 3 stories. And we went there, and it looked a little bit empty, but also it looked a little bit like a specific group party. And then we come to this reception guy. My friend delivers his resume. And but the guy was really nice, very receptive to us. And my friend asked him, because he was in the reception. So my friend thought that maybe he was the receptionist. And he was like, "Do you think you can take this resume to your manager so he can evaluate?" And the guy, very simple minded guy, very funny, amusing, and kind hearted guy. You know, those charisma people? He had a lot of charisma. He was like, "Oh, I am the manager." And we were like, "Aren't you about 19 years old?" And he was like, "Yeah, I am 19 years old." And we were like, "Yeah, okay." So naturally, because I naturally am curious, and I allow myself to be curious, I allowed myself to dare and make the question that I was curious to do. And then I got to him, "Hey, how you with 19 years old got to become a manager of a hotel?" in such a wonderful place like Florianopolis. And he was in Lagoa da Conceição, which is, oh my God, it's so beautiful. Oh, Lagoa da Conceição in Floripa is so beautiful. And he was like, "Oh, I came in here another day, and there was this guy. He was trying to get rid of the place, and I was in the same situation as you. I was looking for a job, and he was like, "Oh, I cannot think about this right now because I'm traveling to England, and I don't even know what to do with this place because I will not be here to manage to sell it. I still don't know any representative realtor that can take care of this for me. I don't really know what to do." And the 19-year-old guy, which is very nice guy, he was like, "Oh, but there is so much you can do to this place. Can you not stay here for another month? Because then you can arrange to have a manager in here. That manager could use all the rooms to make it become a hostel, and you could make the central area like a common, not collective, coletivo, coletivo, just a bit, guys. Yeah, collective. Yeah. You know, the common areas that people collectively can enjoy the place together. So he was like, "Oh, you could make the collective places become very natural to look like this vibration that is in Florianopolis, that is all related to mysticism and the power of faith and nature and surfing and enjoying people from abroad, because, well, Floripa has a lot of foreigners visiting every time throughout the whole year, right? If I'm not mistaken, if there is a princess in Scotland, if I'm not mistaken, the Princess of Scotland have been there. I know princes have been there already in the same New Year's Eve as I was there, but I don't remember from which country she was. I don't even know if Scotland has a monarchy. Well, whatever. And he gave this many ideas to this guy trying to move to England, desperate to know what to do with this house. And the guy, the owner, popped up the question, "Oh my God, you have so many bright ideas. Can you do that for me? Do you think you can do that? Do you think you can make this become a hostel with separating all the rooms to be however a hostel needs to be? I will take care of all the payment procedures so you can make it come true, and we will figure a way out of spreading the lucro. Lucro. I'm sorry, guys. How is lucro? Lucro is profit. Profit, yeah. We can think of a way of separating each one's profits, right?" And then a 19-year-old guy just got a managing experience of a fantastic hostel in Lagoa da Conceição in Florianopolis, which is, oh my God. And I was like telling to my friend, "Can you see? This is what I was telling you about." He didn't have to work. Okay, he would work later, right? Because when we met him, he had already redone all the place. He had already chosen all the decor, which was amazing, beautiful, very invitive for groups of people trying to enjoy beach cities. And Florianopolis, guys, oh my God, Florianopolis is beyond. It's, well, Brazil. Brazil is, I love Brazil, okay? I'm a fan of Brazil. So um, and he would have to work later, but until he got invited, he didn't work. He just went over there, popped up an idea, and got the feedback that his idea was well accepted. And he got a hostel managing job at his 19 years old from a foreigner, which in Brazil is, well, Brazilians, we love foreigners, right? Because we like being receptive, we like to show them around. We love Brazilians, they love Brazil. They totally love Brazil. So they will be very proud to show you everything about Brazil, the culture, the food, the places. They, oh, I love Brazil. If you go to Northeast, Nordeste is Northeast, it's impressive how they can be so receptive up there. As in, I was traveling around there once, and I was like, "Can you tell me where the bus station is?" And the girl was like, "Oh yeah, come in inside to have lunch with me, and I will explain you how to get there." And I was like, "Did she really just invite someone else unknown to lunch at her house just to explain how to get to the bus station?" Really? And they are like this. Brazilians are like this. So if you're a foreigner and if you get here, we will be like, "Oh, let me take you to travel to that place, and you have to know this, and you have to know that, and you have to see this, and you have to eat that." We like being receptive, okay? So when we gather our experience with someone who is a foreigner, we feel like very enriched as an experience because we're being able to exchange cultures. And believe me, if there is a people that is well receptive enough of any cultures at all, this is Brazil, okay? So, why am I saying this? Because that guy, from the perspective of a Brazilian, the guy that was working for this England guy, he was totally thrilled, even because England money, the Libra, is so much more worth in monetary meanings than reais, right? So he got this very big salary, and his boss didn't even think it was big enough. So his boss wouldn't have any problems at all. And every time he asked for more money, he would send it from England. He didn't have problems with that. So the experience was very, very, very abundant and very prosperous. But the guy had the idea, and he was himself. He got to express the vision that he had for that place. And he got to be well accepted by that England guy. So this is an introduction to law of attraction. But the thing is, try to walk into your mind. So if you want to see a happy experience, just go and relax like this and ask your spirit, "Hey, can you tell me and show me, please, what would be my prosperous experience?" And then you just lie down on your hammock, and then you go like, just imagine. Please don't sleep. If you sleep, you're gonna stop somewhere else, okay? But if you just in that stage that you can like imagine and still be awake, ask your spirit to show what is happiness for you, and your spirit will show you all the experiences you want to live. And maybe this will not be related to being the most expensive hotel in Dubai. Maybe the biggest symbol of prosperity to you could be having at least 15 friends together doing a trekking on a mountain. Maybe prosperity for you could be climbing an Everest. Maybe prosperity for you could mean twice a month skydiving. Okay, there are many experiences that could be a real prosperity experience individually, and this is very important. It has to be individually. That doesn't mean that it won't reach the collective um, conscious, because you like to live that experience, and other people in the world like to live that experience too. So sometimes you just go living it naturally, and as in living it naturally, it happens that you invite a friend to come over with you because he likes the same experience, and then you invite another friend to come with you because he likes also the experience. Those two friends invite other two friends, those two friends invite other two friends, and those two invite other two, and out of nowhere you got an excursion. Is this just excursion? Yeah. Is that excursion or excursion? Okay, I think it's excursion. So out of nowhere, you got an excursion, a team, and they are like, "Hey, can you guide us through to traveling through that place because we don't really know how to walk there?" And out of nowhere, you didn't even realize, but you just started a business because everywhere you go, you know the places so well, and the places are so amazing that you didn't even realize, but you could have become a touristic guide, and this could be your true prosperity. Okay? Now, to the mind part of it, because I'm taking a really long time to get there. So, let's try to come here for the experience, okay? So, oh, here. So, You could be like, go to your mind, and I will try to put you into places, right? So in your mind, for the last experience you have had, what was the experience that you had that made you feel like most joyful in your whole life? What was that experience? Were you just reading on a balcony on the top floor of a building? Were you trekking into nature? Were you swimming? Were you diving looking at ocean fishes? Were you in a waterfall? Were you lying down on a bed of a really expensive, luxurious hotel? Or were you just showering? Or were you just watching birds? Or you were looking only at art into a museum? What was the moment that most brought you joy? Please, let's reach that place that brought you most joy. And when you find a place in which you felt the most joy, I want you to put yourself in there again in your imagination. And that's why I have my eyes closed, because I'm imagining it, okay? So you are there in your imagination, and you are in that place in which you felt the feeling that most brought you joy. And believe me, sometimes it's not about you reading. Sometimes it's about finding yourself in a reflective state, just looking into a painting. And for some reason, to look at that painting make you feel and understand the whole life experience, and you find yourself into a mindfulness state just because of that painting, and it really calmed you. And you really wanted to find that calm. So please go there again to that experience and tell me what you were doing. Were you laughing? Were you feeling the wind on your hair and holding your hat to not fall behind? Were you with open arms spinning to be able to feel the full experience of life into a beach sand? Uh, were you playing ball, soccer, football, basketball, baseball? Were you playing? Were you dancing? Can you feel yourself in there again? It's so okay. Be connected to the things that you most like, to the point in where you can feel it so vividly, and so like if you were experiencing it all over again, that the result of that will be your mind, your thoughts, your heart, and your emotions making you feel different and bringing you that smile for having lived that experience that you really loved. And by just being there again in that old experience, you don't know what's going on, but what will happen is that your energy from your heart, summed with your mind's energy, will go out to the world, and it will start go to places, and your energy and your magnetism will be touching everything that is combined to that place of joy on you. And remember, your path of happiness is through joy. Abraham Hicks through Star, and Bashar through Daryl, they cannot stop to teach how to find your thing. You really have to be experience joy. And this is kind of logical. Think about this with me for a second. If you want to be happy, how can you be happy if you're living things that you're not enjoying? It's not going to happen, because happiness is highly related, connected, and synchronized with the joy experience. Even if it is about laughing out loud, or even if it is feeling the whole calm into the world, or even if it is just getting into a mindfulness state, it will be different for each person. Always only you will know what is prosperity to you. So don't let the influence you had from your past try to rule inside of your mind what is prosperity and abundance for you. Only you will have the map from your heart to know what you wish. And in that, I figured out that prosperity for me was actually about being free in the world. I have this itinerant heart that really loves the road. I cannot run away from it. I love the road. When I take my car and I can travel without destination, and this is one of my most favorite experiences. I just want to get into the car with a lot of money and a full tank gas, full tank, full filled with gas, to go wherever I want without needing to choose destination or without needing to choose where I will stop. I just want to feel the way and stop wherever I want and know whoever I want and sleep whoever wherever I want to. And in that, you could have this freedom experience that will, and that is the beauty of the bigger prosperity things that is not related to money, that are actually related to big things in life that you cannot touch, as I was saying before. Because if you are reaching that place inside of you just saw freedom, you may not have realized, but you also r- reached, yes, the mindfulness state. And when you reach the mindfulness state, you also reach love and true. And the beauty of true is that if you just see a little bit like this of the true, you are touching the whole true. And then this very new world for your perception will open up just because you got in touch with the true. And this is really beautiful and profound, because this is when you also reach your inner truth despite of whatever was what people told you that was supposed to be true. Be careful to what was supposed to be true, because some people could be trying to make you be a good person as for their perception, and maybe it's not the same for you. Okay, I really passed a long time of the time that I had. I'm not gonna apologize about that because I really loved being here with you guys today, and I really got to reach every subject from everything that I wanted. Thank you for being in here with me so far. If you weren't in here with me so far, thank you too. If you just passed by for a little, or if you're really enjoying the whole content, really, really, really thank you. Uh, Thank you, Love and Moon Boutique. You know how much I love this place, Evan, don't you? You know how much I think this with all my heart and my spirit. Thank you. I'm grateful, heavens. I'm grateful for Evan crossing my path in Love and Moon Boutique being this space. I love it. I really feel like he went beyond. He was not just going for a page to sell things. He was like, okay, there will be this part, but I also want to be able to touch people's heart and open their third eye and their faith. And I love Evan for that. He's a visionary. I love him. He's a visionary. So if you're liking this place and this conversation of us, remember to give me your likes and subscribe to the channel so we can grow really large into the world, and this can become a path, space for healing for a really large amount of people. Not because it will be good for me, but because, okay, it will be good for me, but not just because of that, but because ideas that can comfort our hearts, they are part of our emotional healing. And if you feel good things about this, can you imagine to share this with other people? And sharing ourselves with other people make us grow, not just here in the world and in the present. When we spread our ideas and our beliefs and if we can teach someone to open their minds, we are causing something bigger in the world that goes like beyond time. It's timeless. So it wouldn't be just in here in the present in the people for me, but it would be in this in the world, in the story of the world. Okay. If you want to find me personally, you can find me on Facebook on Bueno Astral page, as in Spanish. And go also check Love and Moon Boutique, because in there you will find a lot of products that will be able to make your house reflect this spirituality within you, to make you feel like identified, uh, have this place identified for your spirituality, to feel welcome, and have a whole place for her to express itself through you and through your heart, through your house and your heart. And in there you will have the text for support service, which is a text message thing that you'll have 24/7 someone to answer your questions or concern, whether they are emotional, practical, or spiritual. Okay. And because of that, I really love Love and Moon Boutique. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you have a lovely weekend and feel very blessed. And remember, search for your inner prosperity, okay? Kisses in your heart. Bye bye.